Welcome to the Sneaking Into the Movies podcast. I'm Max Nathan.
And I'm Norman Davis. And this week, we'll be talking F1 the movie.
Sneak in with us, and let's go.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
You want to talk about race cars?
I guess, if we must. Yeah, let's talk about race cars. Let's talk about IMAX. Let's talk about F1 the movie.
F1 the movie.
It's not
the
F1
film.
It's not F1 the film. It's F1 the movie.
F1 the movie. The motion picture? F1 the motion picture?
Would the F1 movie have worked better?
If it was
Do you
called...
think F1 the movie is a stupid ass title?
Yes, but in a way that's good. In a way that I love.
Okay. I guess you want to start us off. Tell me how you felt about F1 the movie, Max.
Yeah, I'm kind of, showing my hand here. I was in that theater ascending, okay? I was watching that big old IMAX screen. I was in the car with Bradley Pitt, just cruising, okay? This movie is definitively now the movie of the summer. It is holding the belt. Superman, Fantastic Four, you're on fucking notice, okay? Because F1 has the belt. And let's get into why, okay? F1 the movie is a sports movie. At its core, F1 is a sport. And, you might laugh at that if you don't know what's going on here. You're like, oh, they're racing cars. How's that a sport? You got to watch the movie, pal, because this shit is crazy, okay? They got to build the car. They're building these cars on the track. They got to build the whole car.
Sure.
And they got to put it together, and then they got to put the guy in the car, and then the guy goes up to 230 miles per hour across a track, and they do this, all over the place. They do it in Las Vegas. They do it in Abu Dhabi. They do it in Austin, Texas. Shout out. But yeah, no. You got two drivers on per team, and that is depicted in F1 the movie with Brad Pitt and Damson Idris. Norman, what'd you think of these guys? You like them?
I like Damson Idris. He was really cool. He's definitely coming up. I'm excited to see him in more stuff. I know he was pretty coy about talking about Black Panther. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, he fucking, yeah.
I guess he's
Black Panther.
He wasn't as coy. It sounds like he's probably to be Black Panther.
He was like, yes, no. What kind of a thing is yes, no? Like, yeah, you clearly talked to Disney. It's like, I've never seen a guy do that, but,
Which would be great.
I was thinking about it while I was watching the movie. I was keeping an eye out.
I was too. I was trying not to be too comic book brain, but my mind was floating elsewhere a lot during this movie. But I'll get into that.
Okay.
Brad Pitt, Sonny Hayes, should have been McConaughey or like.
Oh my God.
Yeah. am I right or am I right?
I think you're right, but also, yeah, I like Brad Pitt.
I'm not a huge fan. When I really like him, I really like him. Like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Cliff Booth, like that's a real guy. That's straight up a real guy. I didn't totally buy him in a lot of this. He just kind of didn't really have like the aura. I hate using that word in something like this, but that like a character like that should have. Like I didn't really buy him as like the asshole, or I don't know. I wasn't feeling him in this role too. He wasn't bad. He wasn't giving it a bad performance or phoning it in or anything like that. I don't know if he was the pick for this role.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, when you mentioned McConaughey, I also think like Brad Pitt has a physicality that McConaughey doesn't really bring, unless he, got in the gym and stuff like that and, started taking, substances. But yeah, no, Brad Pitt, I also thought he was kind of giving a very vanilla performance. But the movie doesn't really hinge on his performance, I don't think. And that's why
I think a lot of it, I don't know. Continue.
I think that the movie hinges almost solely on these races and these race sequences and how they look and how they feel and what you're seeing and feeling in that IMAX theater. I thought it was just awesome. I know you were mentioning that your mind was going off to a bunch of different places when you were watching the movie. And
sorry. Continue.
You go for it.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, I wasn't, if you can't tell by now, the biggest fan of this, especially in the way you were.
Yeah.
It was long. Anytime they weren't in that car, it was like the most vanilla, cookie cutter, overdone, uninteresting, like everything with every single character. That's how I felt. I couldn't grab onto anything other than the cool races, and there were some cool races. I did also go see this in IMAX, and my theater was eating this movie up. Like, there was one guy, this was the funniest fucking movie he'd ever seen in his life. Just like screech laughing like it's a Tim Robinson movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I found this to be kind of boring for a movie about essentially people driving rockets around a circle. I don't know.
That is what it is. And I think it's nuts that this is a real thing, because it is what you're saying. It is people driving rocket ships around in a circle. It's crazy that this is not some dystopian futuristic thing. Real people do this right now. I think it's just insane. And that's why I think it's got so much cinematic potential. And I think
definitely.
I think, these races are just some of the most thrilling sequences you're going to see in a theater this year, probably. And I think that ultimately is what I'm going to take away from it. And, Brad Pitt being, I almost called him Bradley Pitt again. Brad Pitt being like a little vanilla in this movie doesn't really throw it off too much for me. I also think like it's kind of funny that he's like super vanilla in this movie. Maybe, people are going to, like you, are just going to be like bored by his performance. I totally understand that.
I thought it was also vanilla. Like,
yeah.
I don't know who wrote this.
It's Aaron Kruger, who wrote the Transformers sequels and one other thing that
those movies, they're awesome.
Forgetting.
This movie was not awesome. I just felt, I don't know, everything with every single character had
Top
been
Gun.
done.
Maverick.
Well, yeah, for sure. Definitely Maverick. But even like Maverick wasn't breaking a lot of new ground storytelling wise.
I'm saying Aaron Kruger wrote Maverick. It was just
I thought you were comparing this to Maverick.
No.
Yeah,
but
we'll probably get into that more.
Has some similarities to Maverick though.
Absolutely, but yeah, I just thought it was all very vanilla. Like, I don't know. Yeah, obviously, like you have the old washed up racer. You never know what he's thinking or why he's the way he is. Getting back to the paint, all about winning. Don't care about money. Living out, blah blah blah. And you have the young hotshot with the hothead who, wants the girls, wants the fame, but he really does want to drive. But he's kind of forgetting that. And
yeah,
I don't know. I just really did not find it interesting. Like, anytime there wasn't cool cars racing around, I don't know. And like this sounds crazy. This is being a little. I just think like Maverick is so cool because like those are planes, man. You know what I mean? Like those are
yeah.
Those are cameras and planes going around and stuff like that. And like, I'm not trying to downplay any of the work. I've watched the behind the scenes. I know they like rigged cars to have 40 different cameras on them, and it all looked cool, and it paid off for sure. That money wise, it's just not as interesting to me. I don't know. So I wouldn't say like I regret going to see this. I'm glad I did. I didn't hate it or nothing like that, but I don't know. I wasn't really feeling this one, and I would not call it movie of the summer yet. And if it's movie of the summer by the end of the summer, we're in trouble.
Well, what's the movie of the summer? Mission Impossible for you?
Mission Impossible so far, but
okay.
If I don't like Jurassic World more than this, then I have a problem. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think Superman's gonna reign supreme summer movie wise. But yeah, I don't know. It just wasn't. I wasn't on this one's vibe, I guess.
Yeah, I think that a lot of the criticism that you have is stuff that not necessarily like worked for me, but it was stuff that was like that I liked in the movie. Like I just think it's a simple formula that works, and there's something to be said about that. Just a really simple, solid movie that isn't trying to do anything crazy. It is not dense at all. This is not Sinners, okay?
This is
This is
paper
not-
thin, man. I
You
mean,
got
there's. I
Yeah.
feel like there's a middle. I don't need this movie to be fucking nuts and be the best screenplay of all time or nothing like that.
Yeah.
Give me a little more, meat on that bone.
Yeah.
That was kind of my biggest issue with this entire movie, is where like I feel like there's a really really good movie that I'm really invested in getting into in here, and it's kind of left on the surface level.
Yeah. I think it is on the surface level, but also it's just rad. It's just cool. Yeah, I think, I like we talked about, I had never seen Damson Idris before. And I loved him in this movie. I thought he was great. I thought
For sure.
he was just great as this hotshot kid. He's taking pictures and stuff when he's not supposed to. He's got to be, working on finishing the race. And it's just a really like when they're racing, you feel it. I think like with sports movies, a huge hurdle of sports movies is that they fail to simulate the excitement of an actual sporting event. Like when, you're watching, a racing movie like this, for example. Like, you know they're going to win the race at the end of the movie. You know that's going to happen, right? So how do you make it thrilling enough to where I'm not bored during the thing? And it sounds like they did not do that in your case.
Not totally. I thought all the driving stuff, it was great. It was thrilling. I was like feeling that, like, spoilers for F1, the movie. Like that crash, I felt that. Like I almost gasped there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Let me ask you, how was that drive home from you? That's probably the most I felt during this movie.
Yeah.
Is being behind the wheel after seeing this movie.
Yeah,
just going,
no.
I wasn't, cutting it up or driving too fast or nothing, but just
No.
being behind the wheel on the straight 35. I was like,
No, yeah.
I love being in a car.
Yeah, you would have caught me driving out of that movie theater parking lot in my Honda Odyssey, just cutting the streets up, man.
Yeah.
After, you see any car movie, like Fast and Furious is another one I come out of, and I'm like, time to just fucking shred the road. Not dangerously. I'm doing like 45 in a 50. I'm not doing
Good
anything
news, they're
crazy.
making another one.
Oh yeah, right. We didn't even talk about that. Yeah, Vin Diesel. It says Fast X Part 2 coming 2027.
Let me ask you while we're off topic, because I forgot to ask you earlier.
Yeah.
I saw someone online, because I haven't watched Rebel Ridge yet. Aaron Pierre is Bond. How does that?
I dig it.
Is that something you dig? Okay. I was
Yeah.
just curious, because I know you're a huge fan of Rebel Ridge, but I still need to watch. Whatever. But back to F1.
Yeah. 3 laps.
3 laps.
3 laps is a lifetime. So sick. I'm glad they made a soundtrack to this movie. The soundtrack does a great job of setting the tone.
The needle drops?
Yeah.
This was like Suicide Squad 2016 bad, bro.
Dog.
I was going to get to it. These needle drops were fucking awful, dude. Like, so bad.
I couldn't disagree more.
I couldn't I couldn't disagree with you more than. I don't know. I was just like, Roddy Ricch in the Big 25, man. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, man. Fucking Don Toliver and Doja Cat. The whole song plays, dude. We got the whole song in there.
I was like, y'all are 5 years too late with this soundtrack, man. That's how I felt about the whole thing. I was like,
Oh my god. They got me to listen to a Tate McRae song and not have my ears bleed. So,
for me personally, this whole kind of soundtrack felt so corporate. I don't know. Just everyone they picked, it just felt like these people who do these very. I don't really know how to. I know everything's corporate, whatever, especially entertainment. But I like hated it. Yeah, like the artists they picked. Not artists I hate or nothing like that. Like I like some Don Toliver, some Doja Cat, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But just so like let's just call it the labels and see who we can get for this amount of money. Who gets this amount of streams? I don't know. I thought the needle drops in this were atrocious. Probably the worst part of the entire movie for me.
So you don't watch a montage in a sports movie and just like have the original song going? You're going,
I do usually like
yes.
that, but yeah, it was not when it's a fucking Tate McRae song.
Well, Tate McRae plays at the club. Tate McRae
Yeah,
only
but
plays at the
okay, now when it's a Roddy Ricch song or a Don Toliver, I don't know.
club. I was
I
like,
thought these songs were weak sauce.
Brad, you juggle those tennis balls, buddy.
Yeah,
You do it, man. Yeah, no, I love a good training montage. Other movies that this is kind of part of the lineage of, that this reminded me of. This is basically a rich man's Gran Turismo that came out a few years ago. A movie I did not hate. Did you see that?
That is like number one culprit of like trailers that used to piss me, like make my blood boil.
Yes.
You can hate me now, but I won't back because that's when I had my Regal Pass.
Yeah.
That movie was like my number one enemy. Me and my roommate Preston, we used to hate that trailer. Remember when we moved here, my friends were like, let's watch that movie. And I was like, no! I did not see Gran Turismo. So maybe I'm not locked in on the racing movie scene. But
there was a really annoying trailer. I will give you that. That was up there with like Morbius and Black Adam as far as like, I can't get away from this trailer.
Yeah. Shazam. I just threw a Chuck at a Dragon, Shazam 2. You remember that trailer?
Oh my God, that fucking sucked. That movie made $30.
It was just me and my mom. We were the only ones who paid money to go see that.
You watched that movie?
In theaters, bro.
Oh my God, you're part of Maha.
Whoa. I like David Sandberg and Rachel Ziegler, okay, man? I do not like Zachary Levi. Zachary Levi was awful in that. He's not terrible in the first one. He's awful in the second one. But it was about as good as this.
Yeah. I disagree. Wait, hold on. You said Shazam 2 was as good as this?
Probably had equal enjoyment.
Oh my God.
I wasn't crazy about this, man. I don't know. I had a good enough time.
Okay.
That's the best. Like I said, I don't regret spending my $15. I'm glad I went and saw this in IMAX. I wasn't like dreading this movie, even though it did feel so fucking long.
Mm-hmm.
2.5 hours. Come on, man. This didn't make me want to watch. Did this make you want to watch F1? I feel like this movie's number one goals. Like, are you going to be tapped in now?
I'm not going to be tapped in. We'll see. I'm going to watch Drive to Survive though, and some of that stuff. I'm way more interested now. Yeah.
Because this is a brand movie, and when we come back, I'm going to ask you to rank this with a couple other brand movies from the last 10 years.
Okay, fire.
And when I put it in that perspective of other brand movies, it's like this movie was just nothing. I don't know. Not that like F1 is like. Okay, I'm just gonna compare this like the Lego Movie and Barbie. Those are the two big brand movies I feel like the last 10 years, and like those movies definitely have a lot more to play with. But like. Those movies are really good. Those movies are like about something and explored new enough ideas, blah, blah, blah. This movie was just not that. I don't know. It felt a little more cynical. I mean,
yeah.
It was just a commercial. Like, that's how it felt. And it felt like everyone knew they were making a commercial. I think that's why everything felt so vanilla and half-baked. It was like, yeah, we need to get the cool car scenes, which are appreciated, which are the reason you go to see this at all.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, everything else was like, okay, hotshot young driver, bad temper, listens to his mama, old driver, some bad accident, the kid who never was, whatever. I don't know. That was just kind of mine.
Yeah, no, it's cookie cutter. It's cookie cutter for sure.
Yeah,
but it's also sick.
I guess. I don't know. Do you want to take a quick break here?
Yeah, let's take a quick break.
Talk?
We'll come back. Don't leave. cars that go really fast on a track in a movie called F1, the movie. Norman, you didn't like this that much. I, on the other hand, think this is the movie of the summer so far, and is my second favorite movie of the year. Yeah, I think if you can have Mission Impossible at the top of your list, I can have
That's
F1.
fair, because I do got this one towards the bottom. It's kind of
Okay.
the bridge between movies I liked and didn't like. I think I got it right in between.
So what's at the top? Mission Impossible is your number one favorite?
No, 28 years later.
28 years later,
Honestly,
number one.
like, yeah, a couple steps in there.
And then Mission Impossible 2 or Sinners 2? And
Got Mission Impossible at 2.
And then Sinners 3?
Sinners, Phoenician Scheme, and Killer of Killers. That's my top 5 of the year so far.
Okay, that's a pretty valid top 5.
F1. Granted, I've only seen 18 movies this year, which is low for me, but also I haven't missed anything. I don't think so. Yeah, there's a couple, but I got F1 down in the bottom 5. I'll be honest with you. I got it right between The Monkey and Captain America.
God damn, you think this is on the level of Captain America? Holy shit.
No, it's a little better.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. You get your dumbass movie, I get my dumbass movie.
Yeah, and there
That's
will
how it
be
goes.
dumbass movies the rest of the year.
I'm going to claim Jurassic next week. That's going to be a whole nother thing.
That's fine. I'm
Unless
getting
it
a
sucks,
more,
of course.
getting a little more optimistic for it.
Ah, Jurassic World optimism from Norman Davis.
I think it's just, I don't know if I'd call it optimism rather than like I realize my expectations are so astronomically low that like
Yeah.
it's gonna look nice.
Yeah.
So how much can I really complain?
Do you see the little TV spot they put out where the girl blows up the boat and the T-Rex is behind it?
Yes,
And then the boat falls and then the T-Rex isn't there?
That was pretty cool. I liked what I was seeing there.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a hype moments in horror movie. I think that's what Gareth Edwards does best.
I mean, for Jurassic World in 2025, I don't know if we can do better than that.
As long as they're not locusts and 15 characters running away from the Jokersaurus Rex in the last 30 minutes.
Which one is that? Is that Dominion?
Yeah.
Holy smokes, that sounds awful. I did not watch
You didn't
that
see
movie.
it, right?
Nope.
So the whole plot of that movie revolves around not dinosaurs. Did you see the one before that?
No, I've seen clips
Fallen
of it. They're like in a
Kingdom?
house and there's like a
Yes.
weird business guy and it's like
So that
underground.
one's honestly cool as shit. Because, yeah, the third act is essentially a haunted house with a giant raptor. But, I guess spoilers for Jurassic World. That movie ends with, like, it being dinosaurs have escaped into the real, like, into mainland, everywhere. Which, it's kind of like, oh shit, like, this is how you do a Jurassic World finale. Like, what are they going to do? Nothing. They show maybe 5 dinosaurs. In like there's like one car chase with raptors, and no one ever feels like a threat. They're not destroying anything. The whole movie has to do with like locusts and like evolving locusts for crops or something. And then I'll never forget this. Colin Trevorrow said the dinosaur was inspired by the Joker. His words.
What the
not
fuck
mine.
does that even mean?
Because he's like unpredictable and something stupid like that. I don't know. So it would be impossible for Jurassic World Rebirth to not be better than that.
Yeah, that sounds like the worst movie ever you just described. I'm glad I did not watch it. F1, better movie than that movie you just described, yes?
Yeah, I honestly say by a lot. I think Dominion's one of the worst movies I might have seen ever.
Yeah. So, F1,
not one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
not one of the worst movies
I'll give it
Norman's
that.
ever seen. One of, not the better movies I've seen, but I loved it. I thought it was awesome. Thought it was a great time at the movies. It really tapped into that thing for me that movies is all about. My head is noisy. Okay, little background on me. I'm always thinking about shit. Okay, like going. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's like ADHD or something like that. But like
I'm the same. Yeah, I get you.
I'm constantly thinking about something, drawing connections to this, that, and the other thing. There's moments of F1 where I'm sitting there in the theater going like, I'm just locked in on this rate. Because when you snap back into it is when you realize, like, oh, okay, I'm at a movie theater. Like, this is going on. But there's like about, like 5 minute spans in these movies. In some movies, it's longer. But, in this F1 movie, there were like several periods of time where I was just at F1. Like, I thought it was awesome. I was transported. It gave me that thing that I'm coming to the movie theater for. And that's why I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was a fun time at the movies.
Yeah, I'm definitely in the minority on this one. I definitely wouldn't not recommend this. I would recommend this to pretty much anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is seems like it's going to be a slam dunk for Apple, Warner Brothers, F1, everyone else involved. But yeah, I wouldn't even say I'm disappointed. I didn't have the highest expectations for this in general. I wasn't too looking forward to this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than I thought it would be. I'll give it that much. I really thought I wasn't going to like this at all. Just kind of indifferent on it. Like, it's a movie. I don't think I'll remember anything about it within a week. That's kind of just how I feel. It was fine. It was a little too corporate in a lot of its decisions and stuff. So let me ask you, since we talked about it a little bit earlier,
mm-hmm.
does this even come close to the level of quality of the two quote-unquote brand movies of the last 10, 15 years? Mainly the Lego Movie and Barbie.
No, but those are also like such different movies. Those
Yeah,
are like
and I think
crazy different.
That's fair. But those are just examples of we want to make this movie essentially about a brand. And I think they just got incredible filmmakers and writers and stuff.
Well, I think okay, so you look at what Barbie did and you said, okay, we need to make a Barbie movie. That's what Hasbro's saying or whatever. Then you get Greta Gerwig, and Greta Gerwig makes a Greta Gerwig movie about Barbie.
Also written by one of my favorite filmmakers alive right now, Noah Baumbach. So
yeah,
that definitely helps.
Yep. So, and then after that, or before that, I should say, you had the Lego Movie, which is made by the Lord Miller, who made the Spider-Verse movies, made the Jump Street movies, 21 Jump Street movies, right?
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Yeah,
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
They're the guys. And
yeah.
Can't wait for Project Hail Mary.
On that note. Yeah, they did what they always do with the Lego Movie, which is take these franchises and just really, really expand them to their fullest potential. And that's what they did with the Lego Movie. F1 is a little bit of a different proposition, where you're making a very simple sports movie. And you're getting Joseph Kosinski, who made Top Gun Maverick, to do his Top Gun Maverick thing on this movie. And I think that's exactly what it is. And I'm a fan of, like I said, I was at Gran Turismo and I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
I was at we talked about Hustle this morning. Hustle, movie I didn't hate, but it's it's a little A lot of those movies are a little but I'm in for the okay sports movie. I'm very in for the okay sports movie, and this movie is about like the pinnacle of the okay sports movie.
Yeah, but this one just felt so much more like a commercial than those other examples. I haven't seen Gran Turismo, but I imagine it's the same way. But Hustle, is that the one with Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's I think it's an okay sports movie, but like there's some real heart in anything I can grab onto in that movie. Where this just like this really just feels like a commercial for F1. Yeah, fancy cameras and fancy, good-looking, famous actors and all that stuff. I don't know.
You wanted You want something more.
I wanted something more. Like I said, this doesn't need to be written the same way Oppenheimer was written, like crazy like that. But like, just give me a little more. I don't know. Give me anything to grab onto other than oh, F1's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's shit it is.
Yeah.
I know. I don't watch F1. I know. Yeah, as a guy, I know people driving cars for the 200 to 300 miles around a track. That is awesome. That is the coolest thing ever. I know that already. So give me a little something more.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just felt like I'd seen this movie by the time I'd seen the trailer. Uh, I can't like. There's not one even like one specific racing shot that I was like, whoa, like this really. It's like wow.
What about the car going into the woods?
The flip?
Yeah.
Sure. I guess that was kind of cool looking, but I mean more like I don't really know how to. I don't know. I just like other than that, I guess like everything I feel like I saw in the trailers. I was like I saw that trailer in IMAX before, and I was like, okay, that driving shit looks really cool. And I saw the movie, I was like, yeah, it was really cool. But like I didn't feel like not that they spoiled the movie in the trailer, nothing ridiculous like that, but I don't know. I just walked out of it. Just being like, okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Could have been a lot worse. Could have been less interesting. Not my favorite racing movie. It did make me want to watch my favorite racing movie, which this says a lot about me and maybe why I didn't like this movie, Speed Racer. I was thinking about that movie like half of this movie.
Damn.
Yeah.
Speed Racer? Yeah, I need to rewatch Speed Racer. I haven't seen that in a long time.
I mean, that's one of my faves, a personal fave. I think it drives miles and miles around this movie. I'll tell you that much. A little pun there.
Yeah.
But yeah, just F1, the most okay movie of the summer for me. I wouldn't give it the coveted movie of the summer.
Yeah.
For me, it's got to be 28 years later, Mission Impossible. Probably 28 years later.
You know, the other movie that I was thinking about is a little movie that came out a couple years ago. And I'm wondering if you saw it, called Ferrari, directed by Michael Mann, starring Adam Driver.
Man, I'm a fake manhead. I have not watched Ferrari yet.
God damn, it's been a long time, Norman.
I know. That's like one of the only man movies I haven't seen. I don't remember why I didn't go see it, but and Adam Driver is one of my favorite. That movie's like, I don't know. I need to go watch that movie.
That movie's like my favorite thing. It's not my favorite movie or anything, or one of them, but it's like my favorite kind of like movie experience, maybe I should say. I went to go see that with my brother and my buddy, and we went to go eat fucking Olive Garden after for the first time. And I was like, you know what? That's fucking Italian, man. That's what we did, and that was a beautiful evening. So
crazy you say that because I was just talking to Olive Garden, talking about Olive Garden.
You were talking to Olive Garden corporate on the phone.
Garden. Well, let me tell you why. Those prices are ridiculous. I haven't been to Olive Garden since like high school. I went home last week, and my parents have gotten really into Olive Garden for some reason. Mm-hmm. So I went and got Olive Garden. It's like $20 for chicken Alfredo.
Yeah, but that chicken Alfredo has like 2,000 calories. That's like a vat of chicken Alfredo.
But like, I was like, damn, I was like, this is so good. Well, I haven't been to Olive Garden in a while. And then, I saw those prices, and I was like, what?
Yeah. I think I've been to Olive Garden twice in my life, and I was just taken aback by the sheer like volume of food they will give you. It's insane. It's like no other restaurant.
But I don't know. I don't like paying $20 for a big meal. I mean, it's nice having leftovers. You know, I ate it a day or two after, and it was still delish.
Yeah.
In the microwave or whatever. But yeah, $20 for chicken Alfredo, man, from Olive Garden.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't no Maggiano's, or this is Olive Garden, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was just shocked, but everything's fucking expensive now. So what do I know?
Yeah.
I guess anything else you want to say on F1 here? Ooh, I got one. This is like the laziest Hans Zimmer score I've ever heard. There's not a single piece of music.
There's a lot of people talking about it. I didn't even notice it one time.
Yeah, I saw it at the start. You know, I was like, I had no idea he was scoring. I was like, oh shit, Hans Zimmer. I don't know. I've never been a big Hans Zimmer guy. I think he had some of the best scores, but batting average, I don't know. I'm not taking him over some guys. Mm-hmm. This was like, I couldn't think of a single track from that movie. I don't know. I just thought the score was kind of weak sauce too, which doesn't help.
Yeah.
He locks in for Dune. I'll give Zimmer that.
He does lock in for Dune. I think that's going to be the episode, right? You cool with F1?
F1, okay. That's where I'm at. Go see it, though, because you will probably like it. If you go with your family, y'all all probably have a good time. I went by myself. There was a big family in front of me, like all like like kid to grandma, everyone was there.
Kid
I will say,
grandma.
like the whole, like it wasn't just like like when two kids and the parent. It was like the grandparents were there, the kids were there, the cousins looked like they were there.
Yeah, man, the Top Gun crowd was there.
Yeah, but like four of them had Apple Watches on, and this is a little PSA. If you own an Apple Watch, there's this cool thing called theater mode, made specifically for sitting in a movie theater. These people kept stretching and like putting their, I don't know what I'm doing right now. These people like kept stretching and putting their arms behind their back, and their watch would flash in my face.
Terrible
like,
behavior.
Turn it off on a, yeah.
Yeah. You should do, we should do a video theater mode PSA like Tom Cruise and Christopher McQuarrie on the motion smoothing. We got to do a theater mode Apple Watch PSA.
Bro, you could have Jesus Christ come down from the sky and tell people to silence their phones, and they wouldn't listen. Like,
probably true.
It's not to go on a tangent. It's every movie now. It's every single movie. I can't remember the last movie I went to that's just uninterrupted. Like, it doesn't
By
matter
a
if you see
phone? By like a
by a
phone
phone
ringing?
or talking, just something. Like, I swear, yeah. 28 years later, there's someone talking the whole time. Phoenician Scheme. There's people talking about what was going on in the movie, like being like, "What's gonna happen next?"
Oh, I
punch you in the
hate
face.
that shit.
That's what's gonna happen next.
Yeah. Wow. When I went to Life of Chuck, there was someone to my right just saying everything that was happening in the movie out loud. Like, that's the key. That's him. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I think the funniest one ever for me was I went to see A Quiet Place with my sisters, and there was these old folks sitting behind us, and this woman, God bless her soul, whatever, was asking her husband every single, like, they'd be making food, and she'd be like, "What is it? What do you think they're eating there?" And I'll just be like, "Looks like fish." Like, what does that have to do with anything? It was like, that was the pinnacle. I'll never forget that. The worst was, I think I might have told you this, but during Spider-Verse, the second time I saw it,
Yeah.
there was just, I went with my buddy, and there was this dude sitting next to us who said something to me at one point during the trailers, and I laughed.
Mm-hmm.
The entire movie, every time there was a reference to something Spider-Man, in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, this guy would turn to me and tell me the reference. Like, I'm not a huge fucking nerd. This is my second time watching it, but it'd be like Spider-Man PS4 would show up, and he'd turn to me and be like, "Spider-Man PS4."
And there's
Like,
20 million
yes,
Spider-Mans in that movie.
Yeah. He's like, "That's the classic one." And when it was like the 1960s, and like, it's like, "Is that Donald Glover?" It's like, "Nope, that's Denzel, man." Like, I was like, "Oh my god, that was crazy."
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah,
Be quiet. Turn off your phones. Turn off your Apple Watches. Just turn it off, or wait to watch it on Disney Plus.
Yeah, turn it off. Just turn it off. Period.
Just turn it off. Nothing. You're not that important. If you're gone for 2 hours, the roof's not gonna fall down.
Yeah. I mean, like, imagine people just, 20 years ago. They weren't doing this shit because they didn't have it. And they were sane people who knew those people 2 decades ago. Bless them. They didn't have cell phones. And they got by. They without being anxious, brain-rotted freaks. Let's try to be better, y'all.
Let's try to be better. Just turn it off. Enjoy the movie, man. Like, if I'm at Superman, I see some motherfucker on Snapchat or doing the Wordle or something, I'm calling crypto, man. I'm serious. I'm so sick of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not good. I had, during Monkey Man, I had a guy, like, pull out his phone, like, every time Dev Patel got into, like, an action sequence. And it was like, bro, you're not the fucking cinematographer. Put the camera down. What are you doing?
Streaks, this movie's lit. Like, I don't know, bro. I don't.
Streaks, this movie's lit. That's probably what he was doing too. It's crazy. People.
I don't get it at all. I don't know. Maybe I work in retail also, so I've come to the realization and acceptance that most people don't care about anything other than them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just like, it sucks. like makes me hate going to the movie sometimes because like I can clock it within like 15 minutes of someone sitting near me is gonna suck the entire movie, and like I don't. Every once in a while, I'll say something like it gets to a point, but like I don't need to be the fucking police every time I go to a movie or like which I shouldn't, but I have to feel like an asshole because someone's on a date and they're talking. I'm just like, be quiet. Like we're at the mall, go to fucking Baskin Robbins and talk. I don't know. Clearly, you're not watching the movie. You go make out in your car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little.
Like you go to the movie so you don't have to talk to your date.
Yeah, you just throw on a movie.
Just throw on a movie.
Watch it at home if y'all want to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just every movie now. Like I expect it now. I'm more shocked if I get through a movie and it's just like quiet and respectable.
Yeah. The worst theater experience I've ever had was Babylon Viewing 2.
That was also the worst experience I ever had seeing Babylon.
Really?
Yeah, that movie sucked ass, dude. I'm sorry. That was uncalled for. You teed me up crazy there.
Yeah,
I just saw the gold scar in front of me. Continue.
So, yeah, no. In Babylon Viewing 2, I had some people sitting next to me that were fucking like it legitimately, like rarely do I have an experience so bad. Like usually, like, you know, like some people are talking next to you and you're like, that's fucking annoying, but I'm still gonna watch the movie. I left and I complained to the manager. Do you know how loud these people were to get me, a person who does not leave to go to the bathroom in a movie, does not leave to go do, you know, fill up my popcorn bucket. I think that's ridiculous. Going to fill up your drink, whatever. I never leave the movie theater. And another thing I don't do very often is complain to management. I think that shit's corny most of the time and unnecessary, and most of the time they can't really do anything. I walked out and I was like, hey, you gotta go look at these motherfuckers in the theater right now because they're being loud as fuck. They were just, I don't know if they were drunk or what, but they were just talking and like laughing super hysterically loud at the movie to the point where it was just not even watchable. And it wasn't like they were laughing at the movie. They were laughing at each other like asynchronously from the movie. And it was just super, super loud. And you could feel it in the theater that I was not the only one that was like so fed up to the point of basically leaving the movie theater. And I ended up going to the manager, and the manager went in, peeped his head in. They gave me 2 free tickets. I left.
That's nice, at least.
They saw it. They were like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's gotten crazy, man.
Yeah.
I need to be more like, when I saw Love Lies Bleeding last year, there was this couple talking like 5 minutes after the movie started, and this guy just straight up from down their aisle, full volume, goes, "Can y'all shut the fuck up?" And they start talking again. He's like, "Seriously, shut the fuck!" Like this guy's borderline yelling at them. And then like after the movie in the hallway. I don't know why I forgot the word hallway. They were like, that was really rude of you to yell at us. He's like, that was really rude to talk during a movie. Like, started arguing. I was like, I wish I was more like that. But like, too passive by nature. Like, and then like I don't know.
Yeah, I'm afraid of getting my ass kicked in the movie theater because you say something to the wrong person, it's like now we're in a fight in a movie theater, and that's like
we're in Texas where everyone has guns. Man.
Yeah,
like, you just kind of got to learn. Like, if you're not about that, you just kind of got to duck your head down and keep walking.
Go to the manager and ask for some free tickets.
Yeah. There's people I see talking. I'm like, I can take them. Just straight up, I can take them right now.
Yeah, you're 15 years old.
Yeah,
you need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, I feel like I talk in circles when I complain about it now. Because just like, who cares? But yeah, hopefully these next couple awesome big movies coming out don't have idiots. I will say, usually my best situations are like Thursday night premieres. Because that's the
people who wanted to see it.
Like, honest to God, maybe it's because there was nothing in that movie that did suck. Like, Captain America, that was like, I just remember being like, this is such a chill theater. It's because no one liked it. But even like, Thunderbolts, and like, I know when I go see Superman, it's gonna be, nothing but laughs and cheers, which I'm okay with. When I go see Eddington, like, if I don't go see it at the Art House Film Bro, whatever, screening right at 7 o'clock on Thursday, like, there's gonna be two people in there who don't know what the fuck the movie is and just went somewhere to sit and yap.
Yep.
So shout out MCU jerk-offs for your theater respectability. I appreciate it.
Yep. Truly.
Well, yeah, we've gone pretty off the rails here.
That's been the race car movie. We're talking about the dinosaur movie next week.
Not during the movie though. We're talking about the dinosaur movie after you go and watch it.
Exactly. That's what you got to do. Otherwise, we're gonna
get eaten by a T-Rex. No, you're gonna get eaten by a T-Rex.
Yeah.
Or punched by Superman. Like full force, just punched in the chest by Superman.
That'd be pretty painful.
That'd honestly probably be painless. You'd be cooked so quickly.
Yeah. You'd just be dead.
Yeah. The Thing is going to step on your foot if you talk during any movie I go to for the next month. It's going to step on your foot. Be like, sorry, bub. And just keep walking.
Excellent Thing impression.
I try. I'm a big Fantastic Forehead, so.
True.
But, yeah, I guess that was F1. We will see y'all next week for a little Jurassic Independence Day special.
Yep.
That's what we're calling it. It's a thing. It's big. It's exciting. But, yeah, stick around. We got some exciting stuff coming up. Obviously, these July movies we've been talking about since we started this podcast. We got some cool ideas that we're going to be doing, getting our podcast up. So, yeah. Keep listening. Anything else, Max?
No. This has been the Sneaking Into the Movies podcast. Bye-bye.